View my stream. Do we go offline again?
I don't know. I haven't such a.
We are reconnecting. View my stream. Okay. Ooh. People came in while I was out. Hello. The coffee is made. I have to escape from this hat. Hello, Marilee. Can you see Marilee? Just barely. A little top of head. Okay. Alright. I'm in a place today.
Yes.
You don't have to remark acerbically, dear. Assorted causes. So we'll just start. This is, I've been working on the Memorial Day program. Why is this hat in contact with me? I don't want it to be, because it is. All right. Go back there. Well, I'm gonna, all right, I will scoot over to my left, just a smidgen. And then I don't know if I need to move the camera accordingly or not. It's pretty wide FOV here. I just did. All right, I seem to still be kind of in there, but I'm going to move this one groat. All right. To go with feeling grody, I guess. I don't know. I'll give you number one. I'm not going to give you numbers 5 and 6, but number one is it's goddamn raining. And it's a miserable day. And it has been for a couple days. And it'll be so part of tomorrow, and it's just, there it is. This is just, it doesn't, you know. Sometimes I like rainy days. I don't like it today. I know there's some song that goes, rain, rain on me. And I can't remember if that'd be a good one to belt, but I can't even figure out what song that was or who did it. Whether it was heavy metal or Miranda Lambert or... Okay. So we'll have a song. We'll take it from there. We'll just roll with whatever rolls. Why is this? Why don't I? Oh, jeez. Okay. Can you see me?
Yeah.
Okay, because this I'm getting funky stuff out of my phone. In fact, now it's. Jeez. All right. Now it's showing me the. Never mind. Never mind what my phone is showing me. As long as you guys are getting the picture. That's all it takes. Long as I remember, the rain been coming down, clouds of mystery pouring, confusion on the ground. Get me through the ages, try and find the sun, and I wonder, still I wonder, who stopped the rain. I went down Virginia seeking shelter from the storm. Caught up in the mystery, I watched the tower burn. 5-year plans and new deals wrapped in golden chains. And I wonder, still I wonder, who stopped the rain. Heard the singer playing, and how we cheered for more. The crowd all rushed together, trying to keep warm. Still the rain kept pouring, pouring through the years. And I wonder, still I wonder, who stopped the rain. Take that, you stupid darkness. That's one of my Lucy quotes. Okay, reason number 2. I found out just a couple of hours ago that one of our circle passed this morning. Abraham Kanai, mostly known to me as Doc, and everybody else seems to know he'd been sick for a long time. I didn't. Shows you how much I was actually in touch with him. I did continually send him invitations to these shows here, and I figured he hadn't shown up, and that he would sometime, but he won't. Interesting guy, and fan of my music, linguist, scholar. There you go. I had a dog, the famous and well-loved Disco La Dog, as she was informally known, but she also, one of her characteristics was that she could reach way out through a fence and get things and do stuff. And I said, you have the characteristic known as clever paw. And many years later, I sought help on Facebook, and Doc's the one who came back with the linguist. I wanted something in Greek or Latin that meant clever paw, and I thought it'd be something, pithy and short, something you'd stick on the name of the back of a dinosaur. But it was something complicated and not very pithy, and I couldn't memorize either one of them, so that never happened. But there's Doc for you. All right. And shucks. Okay, so in another sideline away from Memorial Day, although it's Memorial, he was ever so Jewish, but I don't know the... I've just dropped the name. I knew it this afternoon. The Song for the Dead. I'm Jewish to a degree, but not much of a degree, because we moved out of Brooklyn, and so I did not get past my baptism. I did not get subjected to the Catholic Church. Would you believe it? At this great point in life, my godmother is still alive. But okay, the other thing is that I did not grow up with my cousins on my mother's side going to shul. So I could not, when we had seders back in the time when the family was cohesive enough to have seders, I was unable to pitch in on all the dayanus. But the other thing that I missed was that apparently after shul, maybe every Sunday, Grandpa Harry, the religious guy he was, would take all of them, but not me, because I wasn't there no more, out for a lobster. Doggone. Okay. And that's about the degree to which I'm Jewish, so I cannot give you the Kaddish. I think it's the Kaddish. But I have this that I have associated with 2 funerals in my day over quite a few years. And I'll just sing this. It's a 4-part round, so first part, second part, third part, fourth part. Sally doesn't notice I pointed at her, and she won't anyway. Yuck, yuck. Well, she's much less Jewish than I am, although you probably studied it more than I did. You probably know more about it because she took comparative religion because she went to college. Okay. I don't think this is especially appropriate or especially inappropriate, and I'll get the translation sometimes. Shalom is general greeting. Hello, goodbye. Chaverim is a plural noun. I like to think it's maybe children, could be friends, could be, bakers. Okay. To you, Doc, in spirit. Shalom Chaverim, Shalom Chaverim, Shalom, Shalom, Lehitraot, Lehitraot, Shalom, Shalom, Shalom Chaverim, Shalom Chaverim, Shalom, Shalom. Lehitraot, Lehitraot, Shalom, Shalom. Shalom Chaverim, Shalom Chaverim, Shalom, Shalom. Lehitraot, Lehitraot, Shalom, Shalom. And we'll take that more at the goodbye meeting. And now, on with our Memorial Day program, such as it is. They shall not grow old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them. All right, that's a little left-handed kidding sideways way to start Memorial Day. That song is a Russian melody. It's called Meadowlands, and it has to do with the Russian army. I once thought it was the Russian army's marching song, which I don't think it is. And I also once thought that the translation was a lot about just the homeland, missing the honey, missing the fields and the flowers. And I'm not sure exactly what that is that either, but it's a patriotic, and this is why we fight. And it seemed okay. Now, there was a point I stopped playing that song. I pointedly and politically stopped playing it when Russia invaded Afghanistan. Okay. So I figured there's no need to keep that restriction on it. And it leads us into my other, I have a Russian tune for you. Yeah, kind of. This is one of the more cheerful war songs I will sing today. Why is that there? Because that's, oh, gotcha.
And you can ask Kylie What is nice about a frost? It's chilly over there. They had a nice frost.
They
this
had a
morning.
nice frost.
There is no nice frost except a dog we once owned. 2 dogs we
We
once
had 2
owned.
dogs named Frost.
At the same time.
They were nice. Well, one was a boy and one was a girl, so they never got confused.
And we didn't name one.
Yes, okay. And what is? You heard what Sally said, nice frost. It's been, I'm suspicious of that thermometer. It's been holding at about 43 degrees all day, which means probably I need to change the battery. But I got in the car briefly today, and it came up and said, frost is possible. And I said, oh, those poor puppies. And then I came in and looked at the thermometer, and it said 43. I said, well, sure, it's possible. Maybe someplace like, Australia. All right, here's your next Russian tune. When Napoleon Bonaparte to Moscow he went, with all his troops and all his men, his mind was heavy bent to take that Russian country. Now they were full employed, but the Russians fought against them, they soon did them destroy. 'Twas in a little while that the Russians did attack, 'gainst Bonaparte and all his men, they fought them and they drove them back. The action being so hot, left and right and front and rear. Oh, damn you all, says Bonaparte, I'll stay no longer here. Those warlike lads of Russia, they fought all in one mind, made Bonaparte to run and leave his troops behind. Those warlike lads of Russia, they fought all in one mind, made Bonaparte to run and leave his troops behind. And then when poor Bonaparte, as fast as he could run, the poor Frenchman looked after him, he left horses, cannons, guns, boxes and his matches, ammunition wagons too. He left them all behind, well now what could Boney do? And then away went Bonaparte as fast as he could ride. The poor Frenchman looked after him, saying, oh, it's very hard to think he'd take us all out here to leave us to our fate. You'd think he'd ride along with us to help us in our state. That warlike lads of Russia, they fought all in one mind, made Bonaparte to run and leave his troops behind. The warlike lads of Russia fought all in one mind, made Bonaparte to run and leave his troops behind. There's 20,000 men that they have killed and they have taken, likewise 10,000 horses and 200 bits of cannon. No more to Paris, Lyon, or French Flanders I'll advance, for if I do, you're sure to know they'll teach me how to dance. Now it's to conclude and to finish off me song. Those poor Frenchmen in Russia wish they had a hold of him. The cruelest death they'd put to him, ere man did e'er befall. Oh, damn yous all, said Bonaparte, I'm clear of you all. The warlike lads of Russia, they fought all in one mind, made Bonaparte to run and leave his troops behind. The warlike lads of Russia, fought all in one mind, made Bonaparte to run and leave his troops behind. Warlike lads of Russia, they fought all in one mind, made Bonaparte to run and leave his troops behind. The warlike lads of Russia fought all in one mind, made Bonaparte to run and leave his troops behind. Black Family, where I picked that up. There's 5 of them, not just the famous Mary Black. She has 4 sibs. And they can all sing in multiple harmony and play things and, All right, where am I? Okay. I have to say, I sit here corrected because People have been out there on Facebook making sure everybody got their holidays straight. And Memorial Day is for dead soldiers. Makes sense. I just gathered some songs about soldiers in general. Lots of them live. So I guess I have it wrong. So this show is what it is. Okay. I have been meaning to put these two things together for ages, and I'll tell you, I don't have it very slick yet. But here we go. I'm just going to play a couple of chords here, okay? No. See? It's a good thing I did this. I hope I got that right. Now then. When Johnny comes marching home again, hurrah, hurrah, we'll give him a hearty welcome then, hurrah, hurrah. The men will cheer and the boys will shout, ladies they will all turn out and we'll all feel gay when Johnny comes marching home. Get ready for the Jubilee, hurrah, hurrah, we'll give the hero 3 times 3, hurrah, hurrah. Laurel wreath is ready now to place upon his loyal brow, and we'll all feel gay when Johnny comes marching home. Well, your guns and drums and drums and guns, hurroo, hurroo. Your guns and drums and drums and guns, hurroo, hurroo. Well, your guns and drums and drums and guns, the enemy nearly slew ya. Oh, darling dear, you look so queer, Johnny, I hardly knew ya. Where are the lakes on which you run, hurroo, hurroo? Where are the lakes on which you run, hurroo, hurroo? Where are the lakes on which you run, when first you went to carry a gun? Oh, I fear your dancing days are done, Johnny, I hardly knew ya. Love and friendship on that day, hurrah, hurrah. Their choicest pleasures then display, hurrah, hurrah. Let each one perform some part to fill with joy the warrior's heart, and we'll all feel gay when Johnny comes marching home. Your hand's an arm, your hand's a leg, hurroo, hurroo. Your hand's an arm and your hand's a leg, hurroo, huroo. Your hand's an arm and your hand's a leg, you're an eyeless, boneless, chickenless egg. You'll have to be set with a bowl to beg. Johnny, I hardly knew ya. Come marching home again, hurrah, hurrah. We'll give him a hearty welcome then, hurrah, hurrah. All the men will cheer and the boys will shout, the ladies they will all turn out, and we'll all feel gay when Johnny comes marching home. Well, your guns and drums and drums and guns, hurroo, hurroo. Your guns and drums and drums and guns, hurroo, hurroo. Well, your guns and drums and drums and guns, the enemy nearly slew ya. Oh, now, darling dear, you look so queer, Hallelujah. And here, a little relief for us all. How many roads must a man walk down before they call him a man? How many seas must a white dove sail before she can sleep in the sand? How many times must the cannonballs fly before they are forever banned? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. How many years can a mountain exist before it is washed to the sea? How many years must some people exist before they're allowed to be free? How many times can a man turn his head and pretend that he just doesn't see? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. How many times must a man look up before he can see the sky? How many ears must one man have before he can hear people cry? How many deaths will it take till he knows too many people have died? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. Here we have a song I think better and better of. I don't know that I have it nailed yet, but it's coming nicely for me. My friend Gary Sandusky wrote this, and I played this a few weeks back on his birthday. It's a real good song about the section of it that's about war and coming home from war. I don't think you could say it plainer or better. Don't need a 3-hour movie about it. That's just for the one part of the song. My daddy was a working man, his hands so hard and calloused. His eyes held a wisdom formed in the trial that was his lifelong ballast. Dust storms of Kansas blew him from his home, pushed him to a city life he'd never known. Let go of the farming life and he labored on a crew. Said you got to make a living, just do what you have to do. The time was tough and the wages thin, the work was hard and long. Daddy did what he had to do, so we got along. I still see him in the corner of my eye, when I'm working on some old car, trying to tie a damn tie. I see him somewhere nearby. When I'm lost, don't know what to do, when I'm just dog tired. The greatest generation's war grabbed him by the collar, pushed him to the British Isles, then a little farther. They fought from Sandy, Tripoli to Sicily and Crete. When they hit the beach at Anzio, they were looking at defeat. He told me in his later years, fighting through the din, didn't think he'd make it home, that beach would be his end. He said that every day since then had been a great surprise, so he'd been made a gift of his very life. And I see him at the corner of my eye, when I'm working on some old car, trying to tie a tie. Yes, I see him standing nearby, when I'm stuck and don't know what to do, when I'm just dog tired. So he was a working man from day to live long day, built us a little hearth and home, and made a better way. I could barely grasp what he knew, that generation's gone, but he made me a place to stand so I can carry on. I see him at the corner of my eye, when I'm working on some old junker, just trying to tie my tie. And I feel him standing somewhere nearby, when I don't know what to do, when I'm just dog tired. And here, one of the expected pieces. Our Aussie friends will know this one. And I learned it from an Australian fellow in Guelph, Ontario, these many years ago, like at least 40. I was a young man, I carried a pack, and I lived the free life of a rover. From the Murray's green basin to the dusty outback, I lived, I waltzed my Matilda all over, till in 1915 the country said, son, it's time you quit rambling, there's work to be done. And they give me a tin hat, and they give me a gun, and they sent me away to the war. And the band played Waltzing Matilda as the ship sailed away from the quay. Amidst all the tears, flag waving and cheers, we sailed off to Gallipoli. How well I remember that terrible day, how the blood stained the sand and the water, there in that place that they call Suvla Bay. We was butchered like lambs at the slaughter. Johnny Turk, he was ready, he'd primed himself well. He raked us with bullets and showered us with shell, till in 5 minutes flat he'd blown us all to hell. Nearly blew us right back to Australia. And the band played Waltzing Matilda as we stopped to bury our slain. We buried ours, the Turks buried theirs. Then it started all over again. Now those who were living just tried to survive in that mad world of death, blood and fire. For 10 weary weeks I kept myself alive, and the corpses piled higher and higher. Then a big Turkish shell knocked me arse over head, and when I woke up in me hospital bed, seen what it had done, then I wished I was dead. Never knew there was worse things than dying. No more I'll go waltzing Matilda around the outback wild and free, where to hump tent and pegs a man needs his legs. No more waltzing Matilda for me. They collected the wounded, the crippled and maimed, and they shipped us back to Australia. The armless, the legless, blind, the insane, poor wounded heroes of Suvla. And as the ship pulled into Circular Quay, I looked at the place where my legs used to be, and thanked Christ there was no one there waiting for me to grieve, to mourn, and to pity. And the band plays Waltzing Matilda, the old men answer the call. Now every April I sit on, I've dropped half of it. Now the band played Waltzing Matilda as they carried us down the gangway. Nobody cheered, they stood there and stared, and they all turned their faces away. Every April I sit on my porch and I watch the parade pass before me. I see me old comrades, how bravely they march, renewing old dreams of past glory. And the old men go marching, bent, tired, sick and sore, weary old heroes of a forgotten war. Young people ask, what are they marching for? And I ask myself the same question. Band plays Waltzing Matilda. The old men answer the call. But year after year, the number grows fewer. Someday no one will march there at all.
Camp Lakeland?
Camp Lakeland.
Comment from Roger.
Comment from Roger. Okay. I'm sure he will explain. I have something here, as long as we're just... Whoa. Uh-oh. It's gone! I thought it was on that table. Is that on the floor? Yeah. Hand me those 2 pages, please. They walked. I'll just take 2 of them. No use dragging things out. This is just a side issue. This is not a terribly... I don't know if this is a coherent show today. It's what it is. It's what it is, man. Hey, maybe you can embroider that on a t-shirt. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Sally's fingers hurt when she embroiders because her grandma Lawler, when she was like 3,
3 and 4 or 5.
3, 4, or 5. This went on a long time. She sat little Sally Ann down and taught her to cross stitch, embroider. I don't know what all. Tat.
I didn't learn the tatting. She could do it, but
Okay.
no, I didn't learn that. But boy, did she expect your embroidery to be perfect, and she tore out every stitch she did not approve of.
At least she didn't wrap you on the knuckles.
Tough lady.
I've seen one picture of her. She looks like a...
Oh, she was wonderful.
Oh, was she now?
I could wrap her right around my finger.
Okay.
She had 7 boys because she kept wanting a little girl named Sally Ann.
Ah.
So when my mother named me Sally Ann, I was golden no matter what.
I gotta say, there is just we have a couple of pictures of Grandpa Lawler, but we have one picture of the 2 of them just standing on the porch of some little frame house. They are the most dour-looking couple
They could be the American Gothic.
since American Gothic. Let me
The
tell
Midwestern Gothic.
you, Midwestern Gothic. Anyhow, here's a piece. This is actually an editorial I wrote. I've had a very sketchy journalistic history. Basically, it comes to, there was something coming up, something celebrating Sally's father, who was a hell of a, he was a vet. He was very much into vet activities, and by anybody's standards, a war hero. I'm sure I haven't heard the third of what he did, and that's plenty. But there was something celebrating a 50-year something or other, and there was to be a piece in the newspaper, and Sally put me up to writing it. Write this little piece talking about Dad's history. So I said, fine, I'm a writer. And I went around interviewing family members, mostly Uncle Don, and got the facts as I believed them, and wrote it all down, and it was duly put into the paper. And next time we went to visit, which was shortly thereafter, I was waiting for him to say something. He finally didn't, so I said, well, HB. Actually, I always called him Harold. Well, Harold, what did you think of that piece? And he said, I said, well, did I get the facts right? He said, I blame this on Uncle Don, but I also think Sally, put me in the briar patch. So I've not volunteered to write much newspaper stuff since, but I did write it a couple, 3 columns for the Middleburg newspaper. Got to be friends with the mayor. Then it became the editor of the paper. Cool guy. And I wrote a column, an irregular column called The Token Progressive, because this is not, as you would say, a progressive county. Not hardly. But I would try to get in there and communicate with the other side. I only wrote about 3 of them. And then Trump got elected, and I couldn't find anything to find compromising ground and say, look, here's how we can see both sides. And I'm considering writing to Mr. Biden about that, because Mr. Obama did everything that a body should be required to do ever in history to become bipartisan, and that wasn't happening. Anyway, this is just a gripe. I'm full of gripes today. Here is, would you stop? Jeez. Some peanut gallery I get here. She eats the peanuts and throws the shells at me, basically. But this is a grouch I have. If it's not self-explanatory, it's not a very good column, is it? The Token Progressive from some date in the past. Take a minute, take a knee, take a color. When we salute the flag, we honor all those who shed blood at the behest of their government. Some of them performed noble acts of preservation against evil regimes. Some were sent out to battle for misguided political purpose. Some for preservation and acquisition of riches. All were told their missions were necessary and honorable. Some went for belief in the mission. Some out of a sense of duty and a belief in the rightness of their government. Some for employment and a hope of education. Some became humanitarians. Some became heroes. Some, few, became monsters. All of them toiled, most of them honorably. All of them suffered. On Memorial Day, we did not sort out the noblest and the ignoblest among them. They all went where they were sent. We thank all of them collectively for their presumed service. That is why the flag has red in it. Someone, sometime not irretrievably in the past, decided that red is the predominant and dominating, that's a redundancy, color, that the flag is solely and indivisibly representative of dead soldiers and the unreserved reverence we should hold for them. The flag also has white in it and blue. Ronald Reagan's version of the 3 colors of significance reads, red for courage and readiness to sacrifice, white for pure intentions and high ideals, and blue for vigilance and justice. Kneeling during the anthem asks us to think of the white and the blue of the flag and to aspire to those ideals where they are lacking. Understand, burning a flag is a repudiation of America. People who do that are simply angry and probably do not consider themselves part of this citizenry. It's legal because this is such a fair country, but not constructive. Just hopelessly angry and certainly disrespectful of all this country stands for. But kneeling is in a measured protest is something different. Kneeling is in itself a respectful gesture. Kneeling during the anthem is a solemn acknowledgement of a patriotic movement and a prayer for America to live up to her ideals. The statement expressed by black NFL players and their supportive teammates has been defined very clearly by those who employ that act. It is specifically protest of the culture, undeniably a part of this country, of murder of black people by police. It has never been a show of disrespect for the sacrifices of the armed forces. Someone else assigned that meaning. I believe kneeling during the anthem says, I am an American. I live here and I care about this country. I want America to be better. That is scarcely anti-American. It is in fact a primary and constitutional act of patriotism. We are a land of diversity in peoples, cultures, and ideas. We are a land of unity and ideals, and justice and righteousness, and of all our citizens being deserving of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. God save America. And now about more live soldiers. I'm almost surprised at the source of this song, because Charlie Daniels, I think, is a pretty big redneck. Got on a plane in Frisco and got off in Vietnam. I walked into a different world, the past forever gone. I could have gone to Canada, or I could have stayed in school. I was brought up differently, I would not break the rules. 13 months and 15 days, the last ones were the worst. 1 minute I'd kneel down and pray, the next I'd stand and curse. No place to run to where I did not feel at war. When I got home I stayed alone, checked behind each door, 'cause I'm still in Saigon, still in Saigon. I'm still in Saigon, in my mind. Grounded homes covered in snow, I was covered in sweat. My younger brother calls me a killer, and my daddy calls me a vet. Everyone says I'm someone else, I'm sick and there's no cure. Damned if I know who I am, there was one place I was sure. I was still in Saigon, I'm still in Saigon, I'm still in Saigon, in my mind. Every summer when it rains, I smell the jungle and I hear the plains. Can't tell no one I feel ashamed, and I'm afraid someday I'll go insane. That's been 10 long years ago, time has gone on by. Now and then I catch myself searching through the sky. All the sounds of long ago forever in my head, mingled with the wounded cries, silence of the dead. I'm still in Saigon, still in Saigon, still in Saigon, in my mind. I'm still in Saigon, still in Saigon, still in Saigon, in my mind. Give me a year to get a handle on that. I'll never get the band to play that, although they're rednecks. Here's something else on the theme. Daniel Bowling, fellow I met at the song workshop and have been in touch with now and again. He posts some picture or remark and I make some stupid sass about it. He thinks I'm funny. Thank goodness. He's a handy songwriter. And he's got some intensity. Writes funny stuff, writes not funny stuff. And I started singing this song, 10 days ago. Heard it a couple years ago. It's the first time. Listen to it once in a while. So, you see about the handle on this too. And he does it in a tuning which is created by putting 2 capos on. Puts one there across the whole thing, and then he takes a little banjo capo and puts it up there on 3 strings or something. He gets a tuning out of it. I'm just going to play it in D minor. My mind is a worn-out hotel. Every room is full every night of the year. Really wish I could invite you all in, but there's no space for any more here. Everything I lived through in Iraq, inside and outside the wire, lives on in my head, wells up in my heart, gnawing, unquenchable fire. Most of the time I can hold it all in, make folks who don't know me believe I'm okay. I never faced battle completely alone till I brought the war with me when I came back home. Innocent trash on the roadside for you is a reason to panic for me. Some loser got careless, you figure. I figure it looks just like a damned IED. I must have used up all that courage I had over there fighting the war. Back home now, lying in my own bed, can't walk out of my own front door. Most of the time I can hold it at bay, make folks who don't know me think I'm okay. Never faced battle completely alone till I brought the war with me when I came back home. I honor my brothers and sisters who fight, who rally to each other's need, while while we live among people who never acknowledge the wounds beyond those that bleed. I never faced battle completely alone till I brought the war with me when I came back home. Daniel Bowling, good guy.
Dan Sverdlin says, shirt isn't loud enough. Play Weatherfield. Memorial Day is depressing.
Dan is such a contrarian. I am so glad that we are back in touch. He and I were in a band together circa 1970. And we connected on Facebook and then in person. One of my visits to California 6 or 7 years ago, I guess. Want to hear him play some music? Look up Dirty Dom on on YouTube. I go in there and I do these self-evident rants about political philosophy. You know, have you heard what Taylor Greene said last night? And he says, you're wasting your time. He's right. He's right. But whatever I do, he's, okay, I'll tell you what. This is a song called Weatherfield, also called, I don't think do I want the capo on this? We have no idea. I'm always willing to turn sideways. This is going to go a little long. And I'll decide whether to do the finishing I intended to finish and be depressing or not. Maybe not. Thank you, Dan. Okay. I wrote this song more than 50 years ago. It incorporates a line or two of a poem a girl sent me. We called them girls back then, or chicks. Okay. No harm intended. I'm sure it was evil. I'm sure it destroyed a generation. And we actually learned this little folk song in the band. I don't even remember learning it. I have 2 songs. One is on YouTube from the band. Okay, I think that's just in G. Here we are. Weatherfield. Also less obscurely known as These City Walls. Very 60-ish. Today I would walk with you in the quiet place you are, by the rushing sea on a California shore. But these city walls stand so high, in my heart they've grown just an open slot of open sky. Reminds me of the freedom I have known. Today a quiet wind reminded me of you, so seeking song I'll send and hope it finds you soon. These city walls stand so high, they blot out all I've seen of open land with open sky, ocean rolling green. And there's another verse, but I can't think of it right now. Very, very early Paul Simon, Little Patrick Sky, Tom Paxton. I was under the influence. Yes, indeed. Well, now, all right. I was gonna just throw in another song for general relief, and maybe I'll do that, and we'll save 50,000 names for yet another Memorial Day. This is a fun war song, and it's not even Irish. From the Weavers. Oh, we are marching from we are marching to Pretoria, Pretoria, Pretoria. We are marching to Pretoria, Pretoria, hooray. Walk with me, I'll walk with you, and so we will walk together, so we will walk together, so we will walk together. Walk with me, I'll walk with you, and so we will walk together as we march along. We are marching to Pretoria, Pretoria, Pretoria. We are marching to Pretoria, Pretoria, hooray. Dance with me, I'll dance with you, and so we will dance together, so we will dance together, so we will dance together. Dance with me, I'll dance with you, so we will dance together as we march along. We are marching to Pretoria, woohoo, Pretoria, woohoo, Pretoria, woohoo. We are marching to Pretoria, Pretoria, hooray. Drink with me, I'll drink with you, and so we will drink together, so we will drink together, so we will drink together. Drink with me, I'll drink with you, so we will drink together as we march along. We are marching to Pretoria, Pretoria, Pretoria. We are marching to Pretoria, Pretoria, hooray. Oh, there we go. Usually catches up to me about the last song. And I'm going to... my God. I'll tell you, I've been wondering if even I, who never thought of myself as allergic, am falling prey to the pollen. Is it pollen today, dear? What's the pollen index?
I have no idea.
She has no idea. All right. I am going to sign out with my planned solemn sign out. Don't get too serious. This is just because. And we will see you next Sunday with the pre-road show. That, because we're going on the road.
We're going on the road.
2 weeks?
We'll be here for
okay.
Next Sunday and the Sunday after, and
okay.
then that Monday we go on the road.
Okay. And then the next Sunday, we webcast from the road. 5G Willin and the... Hi. Hi, little dog. Yes. Isn't she nice? Pat in your eye. Oh, I'll stop grooming my dog and... Okay, we will sing the song. Day is done, gone the sun, from the lakes, from the hills, from the sky.
All is well. Safely rest.
All is well, safely rest. God is nigh.